Hello soulmates, welcome back to Sew with Adeshola. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful bubu gown with front pockets and ruffles. If this is something you're interested in, keep on watching. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be making use of 3 yards of this beautiful Ankara fabric with my organza. This organza is now up to half yard, so that's all you need. Then you just go ahead to open up your Ankara fabric like I am doing right here, and as you can see, I've gone ahead to fold my Ankara fabric, both the front piece and the back piece. It is folded into two. Now the next thing we're going to do is to roll out our starting line. So I'll just go ahead and roll out my starting line, and from that starting line I'm going to come down by 1 inch. It is going to serve as a casing for our rope, so just go ahead and mark 1 inch and mark a straight line like I am doing right here. Now to determine the width of your fabric, divide the largest part of your body by 4 and add 7 inches to it. So for me, I had 7 inches to my hip circumference, and after that the next thing we're going to do is to go to our starting line and mark our length of your gown. So just go ahead, mark the length of your gown. For me, I'll be making use of 40 inches. Then I'm going to add 2 inches to it for hemming allowance. So that's all I'm going to do right there. Just go ahead, do that, extend those lines like so, like I am doing right now. Now the next thing to do is to take your neck width and neck depth. So for the back, I'll be making use of 3 inches and 1 inch for the neck depth. I hope you understand. 3 inches for the neck width and 1 inch for the neck depth. While for the front, I'll be making use of 3 for the neck width and 3 for the neck depth. Then I'm going to connect like that. After which I'm going to mark my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 7.5, and from that point I'm going to add 8 more inches to it as my sleeve. And because my actual sleeve length is 10 inches, so I'll be adding 2 inches band to it like so. That's why I'm cutting 8 inches. And from that 8 inches point, I'm going to come down by 1.5 for my shoulder slope. Then I'm just going to connect it to the neckline like that. And from that point, I'm going to come down by 8.5 inch for my sleeve opening. So you can decide to come down by 9 inch depending on how wide you want your sleeve to be. For me, I want it to be 8.5. And then I'm just going to mark my round hip measurement there and add 2 inches to it for his allowance, and then 1 inch for sewing allowance. So all I have there is going to be 12. 9 plus 2, that's 11, plus 1, that makes it 12. And at that point I'm going to mark a line like that, and whatever I have there, which is 12, I'm going to go to the length of my dress, my gown, and mark 12 inches there as well. Then I'm also going to go ahead and mark 12 inches all round the other part of my fabric so that I can make a straight line. Then once you are done with that, the next thing you're going to do is to go to that line, that point where our lines intersect, and come down by 1.5 inch. Then connect it like so that we don't have a sharp edge around that side. Then the next thing we're going to do is to add 1 inch, which is for our shoulder ruche. Just for the ruche, you know that we already had a slant, the shoulder slant, so we need to replace about 1 inch back. So that's what I did right there. So that's where I'll be cutting. Now the next thing we're going to do is just to go ahead and cut. Look at where I am cutting from. You can see I'm cutting from the new line, and I went ahead to cut the back neckline first. cut the back neckline first, then go ahead to cut out your front neckline as well. Then on that part, notch it so that you'll be able to know where to fold. And then so that our head can have easy access, we need to come down by 4 inches or even 5 inches, because this dress do not have a zipper, as you can see. So the next thing we're going to do is to cut out an interface for the front neckline. So just place your fabric on a new piece of fabric like this that is on fold, and use your neckline to trace it out like this. So just go ahead and do it this way. Then the opening you have on your fabric is what you're also going to transfer to your interface. So just go ahead, open it up like that as well. Then I went ahead to trim it to my desired shape. So that's just all about that. Now the next thing we are going to do is to sew our interface to our fabric. And to do this, place the right side facing each other on it like that. As you can see, I've gone ahead to place mine. Then the next thing you're going to do is take 1/2 inch on both sides like so. Then connect it slantly a little bit down to where your opening ends, your cut ends. Just go down a little bit below it, like maybe 1 inch. So you go ahead and sew it. Please do not sew on the neckline, just that opening. Next thing I'm going to do is to sew in my band. So for the band, I went ahead to cut out 5 inches and has the same length as the length of my sleeve opening. So on fold, I have 2.5. I hope you understand. So just go ahead and sew it with 1/2 inch, so you later have 2 inches. You get what I mean by that. So the next thing we're going to do is to join both the front and the back piece together at that 1 inch where we have for our ruche. Then after I was done, this is what I have. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to insert my rope. I had already gone ahead to make a rope, and because this rope is not going to reach the neckline, I stopped at 8 inches. So you can decide to stop at 8 inches or even 9 inches. Just place your rope in between like that, and look at what I am doing and fold it in a little bit like that as well. So for your rope, it should be twice of that 8 inches, so like 16 or even more than that, depending on how long you want it to be. And even the rope, at that point where you marked 8 inches, it should be a bit, it should go in a bit so that you can stop stitch on it, so that it won't just remove. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. And when I was done doing that, this is what I had. So you can see I can draw it like that. Now the next thing we're going to do is to pipe our neckline. And to do this, what you're going to do is to measure what you have on your neckline. Just look at what I'll be doing. Measure around your neckline from the front to the other side like so. You can see. So just go ahead and mark what you have in there. So for me, I have 16 inches. So I've already gone ahead to fold a piece of fabric like so. I cut 1.5 inch and then folded 1/2 inch on both sides, so I have 1/2 inch left. You can see. So the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do is I'm going to fold in the end of one of the rope like this and place it on the neckline. As you can see, I'm just going to go ahead and sew around it. So for the length of the rope, it should be as long as your neckline. So for me, I have 16 inches as my neckline. I even went ahead to add about 3 inches to it because I'm still going to fold it in, you know, 1/2 inch on both sides. So that's like 1 inch plus the 16, that's 17. And if you have an excess, it is better, so you can just trim off the excess. And the next thing is to place our pocket. I've gone ahead to cut out my pocket. It is normally 11 inches long and 9 inches wide. So because I had already folded in half inch at the down part and 1 inch at the top, so I hemmed it like so. Now after doing that, the next thing is to cut out our organza for the ruffles. To do this, what you're going to do is you're going to measure the length like that. So I have 9.5 times 2, that is 19 inches. Then I'm going to measure the width, which is 8 inches. So that 8 inches plus the 19, that makes it 27, and I'm going to multiply it by 2. So for each strip of the organza, I have 27 times 2, which makes it 54, and the width is 2.5, is 2 rather. So that 2 I'm going to take in half inch for sewing. I have 1.5. So you can see I folded my organza into 2 like that, and I have about 29 inches, so it's even more than the actual desired length. So the next thing we're going to do is to fold in half inch like so. Just look at what I'm doing. Fold it in like that, then place it under your pocket and just make a ruffle like this. Just pleat it all the way around your pocket like I am doing right here. So after you're done doing that, the next thing is to place it on your fabric. And to do this, from the shoulder, come down by 18 inches. So I'm coming down by 18 inches, and from the middle, from the center of my fabric, you're going to go out by 2 inches on both sides. So just go out by 2 inches and place your pocket. And please remember that you would have plait your ruffles to your pocket before placing it like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side like I am doing. Mark 18 inches and go out by 2 inches, then place your pocket and sew around it like that. And I'm going to bring us what we have, and this is what we have. You can see it. And now after we are done with that, the next thing we're going to do is just to join our gown together on the sides. So I'm going to join with 1 inch and also fold the hem of my gown. And after I was done, this is what I have. You can see. So thank you for sticking with us to this time. Kindly do well to subscribe, like and comment. Bye.